Hey guys, my name is English Dave, and I'm here to give you the Entertain Link spoiler-free review for Star Trek Beyond. The third film since the 2009 J.J. Abrams reboot, and the first not to be directed by him, because he went to do a small movie called Star Wars. This new movie, directed by Fast and Furious vet Justin Lin, strives to do better than the divisive Into Darkness while continuing the story, and for the most part, it succeeds. Let's rewind a bit. In 2009, J.J. Abrams released his Star Trek movie, which served as both a sequel to the many Trek films that came before it and a franchise reboot of sorts. Using the narrative of time travel, the film was able to create events that led to a change happening in the past, creating a new timeline independent from the original. This was a clever way of keeping Star Trek familiar and not angering fanboys, while leaving room to tell new stories. With a fantastic opening involving George Kirk, played by pre-Thor Chris Hemsworth, sacrificing himself to save his crew and his wife, who was in the process of giving birth to his son, James T. Kirk, that movie was a great start to the new reboot-quel, or whatever you want to call it. It set the stage, gave us great new versions of old characters, and promised some fantastic new adventures to come. However, with an all-too-familiar story and a villain twist people saw coming or never cared about, Into Darkness didn't quite live up to that promise. Many, including myself, have accused the new movies of being too action-heavy and not cerebral enough. Star Trek Beyond doesn't do much to change that, but it helps course-correct the franchise and feels more like Star Trek used to, despite not getting over-philosophical.
My dad joined Starfleet because he believed in it. I joined on a dare.
You joined to see if you could live up to him.
Playing like an extended episode of the TV show, the writers, Simon Pegg being one of them, did a great job crafting a story that isn't overly personal, yet opens the door to the characters making personal decisions. The original Star Trek series was about their 5-year mission to explore new lands and civilizations, and this story is cleverly set 3 years into that 5-year mission. Setting that as the starting point was a great move, as it begins with the now established crew contemplating their choices and what their next step for the future is. Space can be a very lonely place, and everyone makes some sort of sacrifice when you're on a 5-year mission away from home. However, all these things are set aside when the crew is sent on a rescue mission in uncharted space. The mission comes first, and they'll deal with their issues later. Stranded on an unknown planet, the crew, with the help of Jaylah, an alien they meet stranded as well, must work together to stop the plans of the new villain, Krall. The cast continues to be the best part of this new series. They get back into character as if they never left, and for the first time we see characters paired up who you don't normally see together. It's great seeing Bones teasing Spock or seeing Kirk and Chekhov interacting together. It strives to show that they all work well as a family, no matter who they're paired with. Each of the main crew members get their moment, though some get more than others. The new additions also leave their mark. Idris Elba does a great job as the villain. Though he's visually unrecognizable, it's still clearly Idris under all those prosthetics, but that's a good thing. Actress Sofia Boutella is a welcome addition to the Mostly Boys Club. Her accent works perfectly for the character, and though we don't get much about her past, she's interesting enough that I'd like to see more of her. Side note, Simon Pegg has said that her character was actually named after Jennifer Lawrence. Get it? J-Law? J-Law? Get it? Visually, the movie is fantastic. Though he doesn't steer too far from JJ's aesthetic, at times it does feel like a JJ film, Justin Lin does a great job of infusing his action sensibilities into the film without distracting from the narrative. Many of the set pieces feel fresh, and one space battle involving the enemy attacking the Enterprise is just visually exciting.
What the hell is this?
They're boarding us.
The enemy ships are just so damn badass you wonder how the good guys will survive. The set and costume design continues to be top-notch. Their version of the future feels real and lived in, and feels like a possible future we might one day see. Part of Star Trek was showing what the future would look like, and here they don't fail. The movie isn't perfect, however. It suffers the same fate as many summer blockbusters, in that they introduce a villain that should be really compelling, but falls short because not enough time is given to flesh them out. The movie weirdly introduces a trait of the villain, but never really explores how and why it works, which is a shame because it's something that could have been very interesting to explore. Coming out on the franchise's 50th anniversary, this film plays homage without retreading old ground. It's a fun watch and gets you excited for the franchise again. Like I mentioned earlier, it fittingly plays out like a standalone extended TV episode, which possibly explains why the villain wasn't fleshed out. It's also sad that this will be Anton Yelchin's last Star Trek film due to his untimely death, as he was a great part of the crew who we didn't always get to see as much as we'd liked. J.J. Abrams has stated that they will not recast but find a good way to send off his character in a future film. Side note, a 4th film is already in the works, and according to JJ, it will feature James Kirk reuniting with his father, George Kirk. How that happens, we don't know, But Trek is full of time travel, evil goatee-wearing clones, shapeshifters, or any amount of sci-fi tropes that could make this happen. If you're a Star Trek fan, it's a definite must-watch in theaters, maybe even IMAX. If you're just a casual film goer, you'll have a fun time. Thanks guys for listening. If you enjoyed our review, please give us a thumbs up and share with your peeps. Also, check out our website, entertainlinks.com. My name's English Dave, and this has been an Entertain Links spoiler-free review for Star Trek Beyond. See ya.